Hey everybody, welcome to 4x4 Camping and Adventures. Now we're doing a quick review on the EDS data scanner. Now these guys are a pretty cool bit of kit. Essentially they allow you to read what's going on in your engine. So it can go through your MAF, it can go through your engine core temperature, it can do your revs, you can do your volts, all that kind of thing. So I'll go through some of the features, how to use these little guys, because a lot of people have come up to me who just obviously friends and that kind of thing, who can buy this particular device and they don't really know how to use it. So I'm just going to go through how I use it and all that kind of thing. So I'll go through some of the cool features it has, how it potentially can save you $100. And the unit only costs you about $89. I think they're selling for. I think I've seen them as cheap as $69. So definitely one to look out for. But we'll do a quick review on it. Alright, so I'll give you a quick run through of the device. I'm just going to turn the car on so there's a little bit of background noise, but I've got to turn it on to show you how it all works. Alright, so boots up. Pretty simple stuff. Now this is essentially my home screen on the device. On the top left here you have ECT, engine core temperature. So at the moment obviously it's 48 degrees. As a Triton owner, mine hovers around 88, 89 degrees. You got the RPM here obviously, which is in real time. LHK is litres per 100, so that obviously keeps a instantaneous readout of your per 100 kilometres as you're going along. And obviously voltage up the top, the bottom right hand corner there. That's great if you, it's actually a diagnostics thing, so you can actually check if your alternator is giving you a proper charge. So that's another, one way obviously you can use this device. Engine core temperature is a very handy device because it obviously gives you a very, very accurate temperature readout. RPM, obviously you can use that for whatever you need to do. Litres per 100 is pretty handy as well. You can set these up to do distance to empty, how many kilometres you can get out of a tank. It takes about 2 tanks to fill up, and you've got to input the details of how much fuel you're putting in and that kind of thing. But there is the option there. Press the bottom left hand button, pretty simple stuff. You've come up with this view, so you've got gauge, trip, review and scan. Gauge obviously just takes it back to where we were before. Scan up the top left here. So then you've got a very few weird little icons, IM, info, freeze and DTC. Now press DTC and then you can go to stored. So at the moment there's no codes, but if you did have a code or you had an engine light or something throw up, obviously you can check what the codes are in there. You can erase codes. So obviously there's no codes, but it's done in arrays obviously. Permanent codes. Now these are ones the actual device can't get rid of. Now obviously there's no codes at the moment because my car's obviously fine. And pending codes, obviously that's stuff you've stored that you haven't erased yet. So if you have, for example, a car with an engine light but it hasn't thrown the car into limp mode, so you can still drive around as per normal, what you can do is put it in pending, which it will sit there continuously when you do the original scan, and when it's obviously it's installed. Then you can store it. If you want to save it, then you can take this to the Toyota, Mitsubishi, Hilux, whatever, and say this is the code. This is what the car is doing. They can look it up. You can actually look it up yourself. You just put the code into Google and it'll tell you roughly what's going on. And then obviously, you're pretty much ready to rock and roll to find out what's going on. So that's pretty much that menu. Freeze is freeze frame, so you can actually save, I believe, the actual like a screenshot. IM, quickly go into there. That's actually just a quick run through of your, I believe it's your sensors. So it's obviously got cats, it's obviously got air and all that kind of thing. So no issues there. Info, you can go into your VIN number, you can go to your CVN, VIN number, and all that kind of thing. So you can go through that, that's fine. So, this is where I go to. If you click on pending as well, pending also is going to do a scan. So it'll generally come up with scanning. Obviously at the moment it's not going to do that because there's no codes. But if it does pick up code, just brings it up here and the name of the code at the top here. Now if you erase your codes, like done, that can essentially save you $100 or $150 depending on the dealer, due to the fact that this has got written the code, which they're going to plug their device in and do the exact same thing. Now this won't erase all codes. There are some codes that, for example, this can't do, can't get rid of, and you do have to take it to the dealer. But for 90% of the stuff that you day to day, when this had a suction control valve issue, this car in particular, it kept putting into limp mode, which just essentially meant I didn't have a turbo, so it just was sluggish as hell and drove horribly. The code I could erase, so I just erased the code, bang, car's back online, and I could drive it normally again. So that saved me easily a couple $100 in trips to obviously the dealer and that kind of thing. Bottom left is back. That's pretty simple stuff. Trip, you can obviously go through your how much fuel's left in your tank, obviously, and I haven't really set this up, so obviously it's it's not really set up for, but obviously you can do how much fuel's in your tank, how much fuel you've used, that kind of stuff. So average litre per 100, how long you've had it for. Mine's been obviously had it for a while. I've had it for 24,000 kilometers, which is pretty handy. Used 1,700, that kind of stuff. I've spent $8,000 worth of fuel, maybe, probably sounds about right. Average speed's 46 k's, and obviously a max speed of 136, and obviously all those kind of details. So yeah, you can use it as a speedo as well, which is pretty handy. So that's your totals. That's pretty interesting if you're into that kind of stuff. And obviously a review. So 1,500 records found. Obviously all the trips that I've done. So it records a trip every single time you drive. Which is pretty cool as well. So if you've got one of these in your car and your son takes it for a drive, and if you go to trip 4, for example, we're using this example, we started at 1420, stopped at 1426, it was 5 minutes, I drove 5 k's, used 3 litres of fuel, it was $1.60, average speed 54, drove up to 86 k's and all that kind of stuff. So if you're a dad and you've got a son who's a little bit excited behind the wheel, as most kids are, you can check on his drive, and you can plug one of these into their cars as well if you're that way inclined, and review exactly what they were doing on their trips, which is pretty cool. If you're doing long distance touring, this is pretty handy as well, so you can go, my last trip, obviously done this, this, and this, and this, so you can go for those details and work out, what you need to find out from there, obviously. But I don't really use it, but it's definitely something that could come in handy. And obviously go back to your gauge. Obviously that's the setup I've got there. You can change these manually, so you can go to your map, you can go to RPM, all that kind of thing on there. So I normally leave mine on RPM. Up here you can obviously change all this kind of stuff as well. Where am I at? But obviously I leave mine pretty simple of all my basic stuff. So obviously I have the voltage, the litres per 100, the VSS, wherever it comes up is there. That's your actual speedo, so you can actually have a digital speedo if you really want to, but I've got a gauge, so I don't really need that. But this is pretty much how I have mine set up. LHK, which is my litres per 100, and all that kind of thing. Obviously it's got 2 ways of hooking up. There's actually, let me take it off here, 2 ways of hooking it up. You can hook it on the side, or you can hook it up on the back. So it's pretty hard to see that actually. Hook it up on the back as well. But I have mine on the back. You can set them up anywhere. I've seen people put them into the dash and that kind of stuff. Now, as I said, this is like I think that was $69 last time I looked. I believe you get them from eBay. There's 4Drive Supacentre. I got mine at 4Drive Supacentre. It was part of a bundle that they gave me with my awning, which is pretty cool. And I think I paid $89 for mine, but it has paid for itself probably 4 times over since I bought it. And when I was getting the fueling issues, when I had a bit of a drama with the suction control valve, it was reading obviously my engine core temperature, which went up as well, so I can monitor that as well, which is pretty handy. But that is pretty much it. I recommend these things. I reckon if you're going to spend at least $100 in your car, seriously consider this. I mean, it probably costs 2 cartons of beer and you can have something that will protect, or you can essentially protect your engine by completely monitoring it. The litres per 100 is fantastic for older vehicles, because I believe this comes from 2001 and onwards. Vehicles had to have this plug. It just plugs into in the bottom of the dash. It's literally a 5-second install. They give you a really long cable so you can put it anywhere, and yeah, I reckon they're fantastic bits of kit. Highly recommended, really highly recommended. Little bit of kit there that can really save your engine, can save you some money, and just one of those things that actually really works well, that I bought from Four-Wheel Drive Supacentre, that I really like, and I use it every single day. It's in front of me every single day. It sits in the sun. I've only had to reset it once, and that was in a 45 degrees day, and it was literally in the sun all day, and I had to reset it because the screen turned off. But other than that, I've not had a single drama with it. So so that's me reviewing the EDS. Pretty simple stuff. It's a pretty simple little bit of kit, and I seriously highly recommend it. They are fantastic bits of kit. And go to your eBay or Four-Wheel Drive Supacentre or wherever you want to get it from, and buy one, because they are fantastic little things. So as always, hit us up on the website. I'll put a written review on this guy as well, and obviously subscribe as always. Please hit the like button and throw me a comment, and I will see you on the next video. And thanks for watching this one, guys. Thanks.